Alright guys, today's video we are doing a leopard gecko bioactive tank build from scratch. I have a bit of a cold, so we are going to do this video narration style. This is what we're starting with, and this is what we are working with. First things first is I'm going to clean the tank that will become my leopard gecko Bilbo's new home. I'm using a vinegar and water spray here, no chemicals to make sure it stays safe, and I'm just wiping everything down. So I really want this whole tank to be planted. The background is going to be fake, meaning I'm going to glue gun different types of moss and different types of plants all along the background. The background is a cork-like board. I basically just couldn't get it off the tank, so I decided to just keep it and use it for my background. So I started off with gluing some moss in kind of no particular pattern, but just where I thought it would look good. The next thing I did was actually paint the lower background. Most of that will be covered by substrate, but I still want it covered. This is me just showing all of the supplies I have and kind of what my plan is for the build. All of this stuff I got at dollar stores and stores like that. I also have some screen because I do plan to use the screen as a layer between the bioactive clay stuff as well as the actual soil to create a nice drainage layer. So I'm just going to continue on with my gluing and making this look as cool as I possibly can. I'm really enjoying the look of everything so far. One thing I thought was really cool is I made a kind of 3D effect in the corner where it looks like the wood is actually coming out of the tank. Just a little for fun thing, but I do like how it turned out. The piece of PVC here is to use a cup to put a plant inside. That way I can change out the plant as needed and I'll be able to keep a better watering job on it. I'm basically just adding moss and different kinds of stuff along the actual wood and branches I've put there, and I'm going to add more wood into the build as well. While leopard geckos are land-dwelling animals, they do enjoy climbing on things once in a while, so I wanted to give a little bit of height for him, and it also does fill in the tank quite nicely. Adding in a few more sticks with a little bit more moss, it's definitely filling in nicely. I also got this moss that is supposed to be real moss. It just definitely looks like it smells like dirt. So I added some of that in as well to kind of give some different textures and different colors to the background build. And again, keep in mind, this whole tank will be planted with real plants on the bottom. This is just the background, and I'm sure I'll change it around as I go. At this point, the background I want is done. But here's the problem. I don't have a stand. Let's fix that. So I used some wood and I went ahead and built a scrap stand. Now we're going to paint it black. There we go. Stand is built. Now to put the tank on top of the stand. Next we have to create the substrate. We're going to start with the drainage layer. After the drainage layer, I'm going to put the screen down and put some charcoal on top of the screen. This is just another drainage layer to help all of the underneath stay wet so that our isopods and cleanup crew always have somewhere to thrive. I did this only on one side because that is going to be the moist side, so I want to have a better drainage layer over there. Next is to take all of the soil from Bilbo's tank, add it on top, and then top it up with some extra soil and also some sand that I bought. So this is the result with all of the substrate down. I think the thing I'm most excited about for this tank is the decor. I managed to get my hands on some real deer bones to put in this tank. So let's add the decor and the plants. Here we go. I wanted a desert naturalistic look that would be healthy for the leopard gecko, as well as having that layer of drainage for the isopods. Next I added in the leaf litter. This also gives more areas for the isopods and springtails to hide, as it will stay a little bit moist under there to keep them safe. Added in some more bones, just a good look at all the bone decor I put in there. I definitely really enjoy the look of this tank. This is probably my favorite build to date. Next is to actually add the lizard himself. Note that all of the isopods and springtails were in the soil in the lizard's old tank, so when I added that into his new tank, it brought all the springtails and isopods along with it. After a little bit of nerves, Bilbo did eventually go into the tank and start exploring on his own. Well, it's been about 3 weeks since this tank has been set up. Let's take a look at how the plants are doing. Some plants are doing well, the spider plants are not doing so great, and neither is the ivy. I'm actually going to probably remove those plants and put something different. The pothos at the back is doing okay, but not great either. This definitely needs more desert plants instead of the actual spider-like plants as well. But overall, it is doing well, and I actually did catch Bilbo climbing the other day. He really seems to enjoy this tank. He's exploring a lot at night and is a little bit active during the day. This tank gets lots of natural light, so hopefully the plants will continue doing well, and I will add desert plants as I mentioned.
Alright guys, well that's going to do it for today's video. I still have a bit of a cold, it's been a few weeks, but I figured I'd end off with a nice outro for you guys. So it's been a little while since I've posted. I do have another 1 to 2 videos in the editing process, so make sure you subscribe to the YouTube channel so you don't miss those videos. And we'll see you guys in the next video.